Hi, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to look exclusively at my vinyl copies of Speak and Spell. I had 3 versions delivered this week, and I thought rather than just show you those 3 versions, I'd show you the other versions that I've got in my collection so far. It maybe demonstrates the level of my obsession, but I'm sure I'm not the only Depeche Mode collector who has multiple copies of albums. So let's have a look at the Speak and Spell. So the first one I want to show you is my original copy that I bought in 1989. I thought this was an original copy. It is from 1981, but it's not the original pressing. This is a reissue. This is the CBS version of Stum 5. It came out, I think, in 1981 in the UK. And throughout this video, I'm going to be looking off to the side because I'm going to use Discogs to help me out here to give you some sort of facts about these different pressings. Otherwise, you're just going to see exactly the same cover image every single time, and probably exactly the same tracks. So anyway, here's the tracks. And this is quite standard across all the versions apart from one that I have, which I'll show you in a moment. So you can see it's got the single New Life on it. All these tracks are ever so poppy, even the strangely titled I Sometimes Wish I Was Dead. You've got Puppets there, Boys Say Go, so poppy. No Disco, What's Your Name, which is my least favourite track on this album. Photographic, which is probably my favourite track on the album. Tora Tora Tora, Big Muff, which is an instrumental. Any Second Now, it says brackets with voices, so that can be an instrumental, but on this album they have got the vocals on it, and the hit single Just Can't Get Enough. So this is the first album. This is when Vince Clarke was in the band, and it shows from the nature of the tracks. So as I said, this is a CBS version of the album, and CBS, if I take a look, the CBS pressing plant, I did read about this earlier. I'll just go back, get my facts right. So the CBS Record Pressing and Tape Duplication plant was in Buckinghamshire, run by CBS United Kingdom Limited from September 1964 until the end of January 1991. The reason I know that is because of what's written on the runouts on the record, and also apparently there are supposed to be some distinct things about pressings from this plant, which I have to say, I've looked on this and I'm not seeing there's supposed to be 2 distinct pressing marks on the label. Anyway, for the record, the matrix run out messages on this are Stum 5 A3 EG A JA tape 1, and on the B side B3 GG JA tape 1. So the difference here between a lot of them is this actually has EG rather than GG on the run out groove, and it's A3 and B3 rather than a lot of them have A1 or A2 and B1 or B2. So this is the one I got back in, probably 1989. I was a bit late coming to this album. I think I had it on CD a few years before that, before I came to university and discovered a fantastic independent record shop. Well, I think it was a chain with no name record shop called the Left-Legged Pineapple, who are still in business. The owner is now online and on Discogs, so if you're interested, take a look at the Left-Legged Pineapple. So this is the one I would play. This is the remastered deluxe heavy vinyl version. And I'm going to take a look at Discogs just to check my facts again. When did this come out? This came out in 2007. So they did a lot of these heavy vinyl represses in 2007. I recognise that date. And this is a European release, and you can tell it's quite new. It's got the barcode on it. It's got the Mute logo, and it's also the only copy of Speak and Spell that I've got anyway that has got Dreaming of Me on it, which is a signal that wasn't on the album originally. So this is a nice glossy gatefold presentation with some nice photos in there from back in the day. There's Vince on his acoustic guitar, for instance, and it has the lyrics, and it has a short essay from Daniel Miller, the producer of the album. It says produced by Depeche Mode and Daniel Miller, so I'm assuming Vince and Martin probably had a hand in it. And obviously he is the owner of Mute Records. So there's a nice glossy, a bit plain, but there's a nice glossy slide out in it as well. And I think it's a 180 gram, I think, pressing. And the label is very similar. It has the Crown logo on it in yellow on both sides. So that's the modern version, and it does sound good. I think it was remastered as well, so it sounds good on vinyl. Not that the original didn't, but it deserved the remastering. So they're 2 UK copies. I've had them in the collection for a while. I think I got the 180 gram one a couple of years ago from Rough Trade in Nottingham, I think, off the top of my head. And this week, we are talking about deliveries after all. This week, one of the 3 deliveries I got this week off Speak and Spell is another 1981 UK version. Oh, look at the cover, it's exactly the same. And so is the back. Now, the difference with this one is that it is from a different pressing plant, and this is from Linguaphone pressing, and this is the GG Linguaphone pressing version. There's 2 different versions, funnily enough distributed by Rough Trade and Spartan Records. If I take a look at the Linguaphone, this has got quite an interesting story to it, actually. So, and I recommend you look it up on Discogs for the history of this. So, Linguaphone Institute Limited is a vinyl pressing plant facility in Slough, Berkshire, owned by the Linguaphone Institute and operating between 1949 and 1986. Originally, they only produced records for the Linguaphone Institute, but Peter Newbrook, the co-founder of Esquire, had a chat with him, and they started pressing a lot of his records for him. In 1986, the plant was sold, and it became Adrenaline. So there's only 2 Linguaphone pressings of the album. This is one of them. I'm quite happy to get it. I was after the original 1981 version, which we thought this was, but it is a 1981 version, but it's not. It's still kind of down as a repress. Now, the thing about this, and I will show some pictures, is the interesting serial number. The matrix run-out code on side A is STUM 5 A/2/1 J881 GG, and on the B side it's STUM 5 B2/1 J881 GG. And what's important about this, really, is, if anything about this is important, is the /1. Usually it's STUM 5A2, STUM 5B2. This one is A/2/1 and B2/1. And that's the little difference that makes me want to keep this in the collection and not, you know, part with it in favour of an original. I will just try and one of these days I will find an original. There are actually 10 different versions in the UK from 1981, I think, at the last count, from various pressing plants dotted about all around the UK. Moving on slightly further away from home. So this one, as you can see from the cover, this is amazingly glossy cover. This is one of the glossiest of covers. This is actually an RCA vinyl. So the label looks a lot like a Bowie album, actually. I'm just looking at Discogs again, just to see if I can find which one it is. Oh, of course, yes. So this is a Spanish 1981. I say oh, of course, because I didn't notice. They have explicate in brackets after the title of the album. And this has got quite an interesting kind of sleeve as well, because it's formed in such a way as it's close together here and here in the way it's glued, but it's actually got a proper spine to it there with the title of the album. It's not something I've seen very often with LPs. I don't know if it's specific to RCA or it's just specific to Spanish LPs. So the giveaway on this, if you were in a record fair and picked this up, apart from the fact it says explicate, a massive clue there, is that it says copyright, E, whatever that means. I'm presuming that's the Spanish word, whatever begins with E for copyright. Madrid, basically. So RCA's got a B there for some reason, not sure why. And then it says dance music. So let's have a look inside. Tracks are exactly the same. And yeah, like I say, the label looks like a lot of the Bowie albums that I've got. So it's orange RCA label, very quite usual. RCA Victor. Yeah, Cara 1 stereo, Cara 2 stereo. So there we go. That's the Spanish version or a Spanish version from 1981. I don't know how many versions are in different countries, but I'm sure overall the amount of versions of Speak and Spell registered on Discogs runs into the hundreds. Here's another one. Wow, look at the cover. It's a swan. I think this is a mute swan, which is a bit of a joke, really, isn't it? Because it's packaged up. This is one of Brian Griffin's famous photographs. It's a mute swan and it's packaged, so it's a mute product. Little in joke. Yeah, just going back to the back on the Spanish one. Look, there's a photo that you don't get on the British version. It's a nice 3 black and white photos there. So next one, another quite glossy one as well, actually, and the colour tones are a bit darker as well. I think I might have already done a video featuring this. This is the French version. This was sitting under my nose at Loughborough Market for quite some time before I noticed the difference in the colour. I thought, oh, that's peculiar. And then I saw the V logo. And I thought, that's Vogue. That's the French record label. So, and then it obviously says, oh, my French pronunciation is terrible, Gravé et pressé en France. Pressed in France. So I snapped this up, especially when I saw the insert, because it's the original Vogue insert as well. So nice little turn up for the books. And then the label is quite, it's almost like a 1990s Violator, but the logo is the original Walking Man logo. Is this 1981? Yes, 1981 France. And the catalogue number is 540016. So that's still in Europe at the moment. That was Spain, that was France. And if I arrange this pile in the correct order, this could be Germany. Yes. So here's Germany. Slightly more battered copy, far less glossy, but it's not matte, it is gloss. It's just seen some action in and out of the record collection, I guess. I can't recall where I got this from. I expect it was probably eBay. And the label is the usual light blue logo that you get on the German LPs from that date. And I think this is also, yes, 1981. So the catalogue number on this is INT 146801. Next, we have got, moving a little bit further afield, we have got the South African version. And this came this week as well. This is one of the 3 copies of the album that came this week. So this is David Gresham again. There's the logo down the bottom. I think I picked up a Violator, South African copy of Violator that I've showed you before from David Gresham Records. So this is only the second one. The bit of a giveaway that's a bit of a more of a modern copy is the barcode. But nonetheless, interesting to see it. The South African version, and the catalogue number is MUT 2019. I don't think it's 2019, given the condition. That is literally just the catalogue number. Just coincidentally looks like a year, 2019. This came out in 1988, so this is a reissue. Got quite a bold record label, almost like the German record labels, but a different shade of blue. And obviously also the giveaway on the age, if it didn't have a barcode on it, is the Mute logo there. Is a modern logo. And then this is the 3rd copy of the album that I got this week. And you can see, let's have a look at the back. Now, the back of the David Gresham record is very similar to the UK version, with there isn't a photo, and the crown is in yellow at the top, whereas on this one the crown is in white, and we've got the photo back again, and we can see on the corner there POW, which means powder. If you see POW on a Depeche Mode record or tape and you aren't living in Australia, it's time to get excited. Because they are really tricky to get hold of over in the UK, over on the other side of the world. So the catalogue number of this is POW 6012, and this is a 1981 copy. So this is, I think, quite interesting, and it's got a matte sleeve. There's not a gloss finish on this, and then the typically understated labelling from Powder Records there, with the old Walking Man logo on. So nice addition this week to the collection, along with the South African one and the other UK version. So they're the 3 deliveries this week. And then actually I did pick up, and you might be able to see, I've just uncovered it. I did get another delivery that I've been holding on to and not showing you because I knew I'd be getting those other copies. The last version I want to show you is the Japanese version. And I have done a video where I picked up a lot of the early 80s Japanese albums. And there's a video dedicated to them, but the one glaring gap I had And I mentioned it would be great if I could get hold of a Japanese version of Speak and Spell. So I did, and here it is. And it was very coincidentally popped up on eBay very soon after I finished that video. So this is P11218 from Japan. It's on the Sire label, and this is from 1982. It's got the Obi strip on intact on it, which is great, and usual tracks. Let's have a look inside. So look at the inserts first. All these other albums haven't really had inserts. Nothing much going on. And there's only one on this one. It's a double-sided one. So it has a lyric sheet in English on one side, and a track listing and a short essay by Michinari Yamada on the other side. So that's what was inside with the record, and then they do the U-shaped inserts in Japan. There we go, Sire record. So if you have got Madonna 12-inch, you're very used to seeing the Sire logo. So looks American, but is the Japanese version. And then the difference is there is no photo on the back of the three of them. That's back in yellow. I think the difference on the cover, if it didn't have an Obi strip on, what to look out for is the fact that the crown is black and the writing has got a black background to it. So there we have it. That is down the little Speak and Spell rabbit hole. I hope you enjoyed looking at that. So thank you for watching. If you like this, please indicate so by clicking on like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. You can see how many views I'm getting on these videos, so I'm not making any money from advertising from these videos or anything like that, but I like to try and sort of share the enjoyment of collecting Depeche Mode with you guys, and I'll carry on regardless, as they say. So until next time, which might be sooner than you think, thank you very much for watching, and take care. Cheers.